The Galactic Council had existed for over 12,000 years. They had witnessed the rise and fall of countless species. They had survived 3 major wars that had burned entire star systems to ash. They believed they had seen everything the universe could offer. They were wrong. Ambassador of the species stood at the observation deck of the Council station. His 4 eyes blinked slowly as he watched the sensor readings update on the massive holographic display. Something was approaching from the outer rim of the galaxy. Something big. Something that should not exist. "What is the size estimate?" asked Hai, his scaled body trembling slightly as he read the data. The station's AI responded in its calm, emotionless voice. The approaching vessel measures approximately 47 kilometers in length. Width at widest point is 12 kilometers. Mass readings are still calculating, but preliminary estimates suggest it exceeds the combined mass of our entire defense fleet. Silence fell over the council chamber. 47 kilometers. The largest warship in the council's fleet was barely 3 kilometers long. Even the ancient weapons platforms left behind by extinct civilizations were never more than 10 kilometers across. This was impossible. "Where did it come from?" demanded. "Origin tracking complete," the AI announced. "The vessel originated from the restricted zone, Sector 7, the system designated as Sol." Every council member froze. Sector 7 was the forbidden zone. 200 years ago, council scouts had discovered a small blue planet in that sector. The inhabitants were primitive, still fighting wars among themselves, still burning fossil fuels for energy. The council had voted unanimously to leave them alone. They were too violent, too unpredictable. Let them destroy themselves, the council had decided. It was only a matter of time. Apparently, they had been very wrong. Commander Sarah stood on the bridge of the UES Prometheus, humanity's first and only Titan-class warship. She was a small woman with sharp eyes and a calm demeanor that had been tested in 3 colonial uprisings and a civil war. Nothing surprised her anymore, or so she thought. "Commander, we are detecting multiple energy signatures ahead," her tactical officer reported. "Looks like a space station of some kind, massive, and there are approximately 200 vessels surrounding it." Nodded slowly. "So the rumors were true, we are not alone." Humanity had discovered faster-than-light travel only 50 years ago. Since then, they had expanded rapidly, colonizing dozens of worlds, building a fleet that could protect their new territories. But they had never encountered other intelligent life. Until now. "Open a channel," ordered. "All frequencies, let them know we come in peace." The communications officer worked quickly. "Channel open, Commander." Cleared her throat. "This is Commander Sarah of the United Earth ship Prometheus. We represent the human species from the planet Earth. We come with peaceful intentions and wish to establish diplomatic contact. Please respond." On the council station, the message played through the speakers. Every representative heard the calm, confident voice of the human commander, and every single one of them felt fear. "They speak our common tongue," Ambassador whispered. "How is that possible?" "Unknown," the AI responded. "However, their vessel has been scanning our communications for the past several minutes. It is likely they have developed real-time translation technology." Hai slammed his fist against his console. "Real-time translation. We have been working on that technology for centuries and have not succeeded. How can these primitives have achieved it?" But that was just the beginning of the surprises. The AI interrupted. "Detailed scans of the human vessel are now complete. I must warn you, the results are disturbing." "Show us," commanded. The holographic display changed, showing a detailed breakdown of the Prometheus. The council members watched in growing horror as the statistics appeared. Hull composition, unknown alloy. Density exceeds anything in our databases. Estimated to withstand direct hits from plasma cannons for extended periods. Power source, Controlled antimatter reaction. Output exceeds the combined energy production of all Council member worlds. Weapons systems. Multiple categories detected. Kinetic accelerators capable of launching projectiles at zero point 0.3 light speed. Energy weapons of unknown type. Missile systems with apparent faster-than-light tracking capability. And something designated as Nova bombs with yield estimates that the AI refused to calculate. "This cannot be correct," said Ambassador of the Collective. "No species develops weapons like this without reason. Who were they fighting?" The AI pulled up historical data from the human transmission intercepts. Analysis of human history suggests they were fighting themselves. Their species has engaged in continuous warfare since they developed tools. They have fought over resources, territory, ideology, religion, and in some cases, simply for the sake of fighting. Conservative estimates suggest they have killed over 1 billion of their own kind in the last 500 years alone. The chamber erupted in chaos. 1 billion deaths from internal conflict. The entire Galactic Council had lost fewer lives than that in 12,000 years of existence. What kind of monsters were these humans? "We must destroy them," shouted. "Before they destroy us. Launch all ships. Attack now while we have numbers on our side." Wait, stepped forward. "Let us think about this carefully. If their single ship is as powerful as the readings suggest, attacking them would be suicide. We would be throwing away our entire fleet for nothing." "Then what do you suggest?" asked. "We cannot simply let them do as they please." Four eyes narrowed. "We talk, we learn, we discover what they want, and we pray to whatever gods we believe in that they truly come in peace." On the Prometheus, Commander waited patiently. Her sensors had already scanned the alien station and the surrounding fleet. The tactical assessment was clear. If combat started, the Prometheus could eliminate every hostile vessel in approximately 15 minutes. The alien weapons were primitive by human standards. Their shields were weak. Their hulls were thin. It would be less of a battle and more of a massacre. But did not want a massacre. She had seen enough death in her career. She hoped these aliens would be reasonable. "Commander, incoming transmission from the station," the communications officer announced. "Put it through." The screen flickered and found herself looking at an alien for the first time in human history. It had 4 eyes, blue-gray skin, and a body structure that suggested it had evolved on a low-gravity world. It looked afraid. "I am ambassador of the species representing the Galactic Council. We welcome you, humans, and acknowledge your message of peace. However, I must ask, why have you come here with such a formidable vessel?" Smiled, trying to appear friendly. "Ambassador, I apologize if our ship has caused alarm. The Prometheus was designed for exploration and protection. The universe is vast and dangerous, and humanity learned long ago that we must be prepared for anything. We did not know what we would find out here." "And if you had found hostility?" asked. Smile faded. "Then we would have defended ourselves. We are not aggressive by nature, Ambassador, but we will not allow ourselves to be victims. Never again." The conversation continued for hours. Answered questions about Earth, about human history, about their technology and their intentions. She noticed that the more she explained, the more nervous the alien delegation became. When she casually mentioned that the Prometheus was one of 12 Titan-class ships currently under construction, she saw several of the alien representatives physically stumble. 12, interrupted. "You are building 12 vessels of this size." "The Prometheus is actually one of the smaller models," explained. "The next generation will be approximately 60 kilometers in length. We call them Colossus class. They should be operational within the next 10 years. The council chamber fell silent. 60 kilometers, ships that made the Prometheus look small, and humans had built all of this in just 50 years of space travel. What would they be capable of in another 100 years? Another 1,000? After the transmission ended, the Galactic Council held an emergency session. The debate lasted for days. Some wanted to attack, others wanted to surrender immediately and beg for mercy. A few suggested abandoning their territories and fleeing to another galaxy entirely. In the end, Ambassador's proposal won. The Council would welcome humanity into their organization. They would share technology, resources, and knowledge. They would treat the humans as equals, as partners, as friends. Not because they wanted to, but because they had no choice. When the news reached Earth, celebrations erupted across the planet. Humanity had finally taken its place among the stars. They had met other intelligent life and been accepted into a galactic community. It was a dream come true. Few people knew the truth about how that acceptance had come about. Few people understood that the Galactic Council had voted to embrace humanity not out of friendship, but out of pure, undiluted terror. Commander knew. She had seen the fear in the alien eyes. She had heard the trembling in their voices. She understood what humanity represented to these beings who had ruled the galaxy for. Change, disruption, danger. As the Prometheus began its journey back to Earth, stood alone on the observation deck. She looked out at the stars and wondered what the future would hold. Humanity had proven itself strong, but strength alone was not enough. They would need wisdom, patience, and restraint to navigate the complex politics of the galaxy. She hoped her species was ready for the challenge. The council members watched the massive ship depart on their sensors. It moved with a grace that belied its enormous size, accelerating faster than any of their vessels could match. Within moments, it vanished into faster-than-light travel, leaving behind only the memory of fear and the weight of a future that would never be the same. Hai turned to his fellow representatives. We have survived for 12,000 years by being cautious, by being wise, by avoiding unnecessary conflict. Today, we added a new species to our ranks, a species unlike any we have ever encountered. Let us hope we made the right decision. Ambassador nodded slowly. Let us hope they give us the chance to find out. Far away, among the stars, the Prometheus carried its crew home. And across the galaxy, in council chambers and military headquarters and quiet homes on 1,000 different worlds, the same thought echoed in countless minds. The humans were here, and nothing would ever be the same again.